So how do you build a personal brand and how do you use it to get clients? So at the end of 2022, I decided to build a personal brand, and I'm going to go through in this video the exact steps I went through to get to around 20,000 followers in a year and a half or so. You know, I'm not Mr. Beast, I'm no expert on this, but I could probably help someone who's thinking about building a personal brand or even thinking about using, LinkedIn or X to get clients. So, my Twitter's got 26,000, my LinkedIn has got 6,000, YouTube has got 1,000, and so it's okay. And I built an email list on the back of that as well of around 5,000. So in a short space of time, I've got access to an audience, and what I like about that, it gives me the ability to start projects really fast. I could find out in days rather than years if a project's going to be successful, if it's going to fail, if it's going to succeed. I can make connections. So, the people that I've met through building a personal brand has been great. It's great going to conferences and stuff, and conversations become a lot easier if they know who you are, you know who they are. You just get a lot more opportunities. People slide into your DMs with opportunities you would never have got. And obviously the big one is getting clients. So if you're posting about your business, your services, and you're posting case studies, you'll get clients directly because of that. It's better than the business posting it. You look at any B2B social media account, and it's very, very hard to find one that gets any likes, any interaction. People don't interact with businesses, they interact with people. People are becoming the new brands. Personal brands become the new branding. And that's most companies really, you'll see that. That the person, the head figure is kind of the branding rather than the company. But this brings me nicely into my next point, which is I don't think personal brands are all good. I think there's some bad points. Now, if your company is really, really tied to your personal brand and it's the only way that you're getting clients, I think that's bad. I think you need to stop that pretty quick. Whilst personal brands are really good for getting a company off the ground, you should quickly plan your way out of that, so that the company becomes self-sustaining with more consistent ways of getting clients, not just through your personal brand and you tweeting about it or you posting about it. And, whilst the personal brand method is very, very powerful, and it's a shame to lose that, you can still keep it if you train your staff to be their own personal brands. So if you're a big company and you've got 4 or 5 people that could be, quite influential online, you can teach them or give them a framework on how to tweet, how to post, and then you've got 5 or 6 people who are all running this personal brand game. If one of them leaves or one of them changes direction, you haven't lost much, and obviously 4 or 5 people is better than one person doing it. So it's a way of decentralising personal brand. So there's some of the bad points and there's some of the good points. Now let's go into how to do it. So the way that you need to come into a public forum, in real life or in online or any social media network, is you have to create value. You have to create something that's like you've got to give it away, and you've got to give more than you're taking. You can't just come in charging for stuff. You can't just come in with a megaphone saying buy my services. You can't just come in saying I do this, I do that, or I think this. No one's going to care about what you think about anything until you've created any kind of value or any kind of respect. And the way to do that is you come in with a free tool, free resources, free public research. So very early on, I created Query Hunter, which was a free WordPress plugin. I won't go into details about it. It's since changed name and we've made it better, but it was a free plugin and it got many, many downloads, thousands of downloads, and it got shared around everywhere, and obviously I got tagged as the creator of it, and I gave it away, didn't charge for it, and because of that I got lots of followers, lots of people talking about it, and that got me a lot of followers. Now I'd come in with I had my company Fat Joe, so I did have some credentials. You know, if you have got some credentials, it makes it easier, but that alone won't really propel you into follower count getting higher and higher. It will just sort of make you known a little bit. You need to give away this stuff. You need to give away value. So I'd recommend building something, giving away something, and even if you can't think of an idea, maybe you can do something on a regular basis, which is create regular audits or regular reports. You know, you could go and audit someone's website for free and share the video. You could, you know, do an analysis on someone's funnel or design. You could design stuff. A lot of the designers on Twitter are doing like free redesigns of websites and posting it publicly. And it gets them so many followers. It gets them work. It gets them just interest and comments. You must have seen this stuff. So I think there's a way for you to do it, but you've got to give away a lot of free stuff, and it is a hard slog. There's work to do. But once you get that momentum, you can do it less. You can kind of sit back a little bit. Now, another way to kind of accelerate your online follower count would be to get in the real world. So any conferences, go meet people in person. You'll find that a lot more people will speak about you or share your profile or share your stuff once they've met you in person. And it only takes one or two like big influencers to start sharing your stuff, to start putting your profile in front of others, you know, a lot more. So I'd recommend any conference you can go to near you, or, you know, maybe not near you, but affordable or, you know, convenient, just go to them. Now, the next one, be yourself. Like platitudes and like the templated stuff is done to death, and you can see from a mile off. And especially with AI just makes it easier to spot now. I think like AI just makes things so dull, and I think having like really contrarian tweets. I don't mean contrarian in terms of the topic or the content. I mean the way that they're written. You know, just write them as if you're writing a Facebook status in 2008. You know, that's a different way of doing things. Write stuff without any capital letters. Write stuff with bad grammar. Be yourself, and I think that's something that comes across, and I think that comes through, and is more charming and more personable than trying to be so corporate. Now, this doesn't work as well on LinkedIn, and I'm going to dive a bit deeper into that later on. I'm talking more about X here, because X is like the playground, I think. I'm going to go into it. The next point is be personal as well. So post like you on holiday, or your dog, or you reading a book, or whatever. Like it doesn't really matter what it is. Something that just shows you're human and you're not just work, or whatever your industry is. You've got to show something that's a bit outside of it. I'm not saying get political or go into stuff that's totally irrelevant, but just show that you're a real person. You know, stuff that's tasteful to share as well. So in terms of like attack on this, like I use Twitter as the playground. So Twitter's a place where you can post stuff multiple times a day. You can post stuff that's crap, you can post stuff that's good, post stuff that's long, post stuff that's short, post stuff with pictures. Just use it as a playground and use it as like an ideas dump. Put everything on Twitter first, and then the stuff that catches fire, the stuff that gets a few likes, or you think, well, you know, this has got a few more likes than the last one, this is getting a lot of comments, really then take it to LinkedIn, refine it, make it longer, add more cringe. Cringe is very important on LinkedIn. I'm being serious. Like you've got to make it a little bit more cheesy, a little bit more to that kind of audience. Twitter doesn't work being like that. LinkedIn, it really works kind of like being a bit more corporate, a bit more, just a little bit cheesy. I don't know the word for it, but you've got to kind of twist it a little bit to be a bit more friendly. Twitter is very important to have like a hook. So, LinkedIn is very important to have a hook. So on LinkedIn, your first line means everything. Like you can't just copy the tweet over to LinkedIn. You've got to make that first line something very short and very curious, you know. So if I go to mine, I only worked this out, not too long ago actually. But the first line is always something a bit suspense. Great entities don't overcomplicate things. Don't call your sales team a sales team. Why would a potential client choose your agency over others? Successful client SEO is, because on LinkedIn, the rest of the post is hidden. It's only the first line that's shown. I spent 4.3 million on Google Ads to acquire customers. Here's 5 lessons I learned, Then they can't see anymore. They have to click more. And I'm not sure how the algorithm works, but I think if more people click on it and spend dwell time there, it'll show it to more people. So yeah, do that. Make sure your first line is a hook, is curiosity driven, and then you may not want to do YouTube, but I think YouTube is another place to start getting a bit of followers, a bit of an audience. And the way to do that is take your LinkedIn bangers. So Twitter first. Whatever works on Twitter, put on LinkedIn. Whatever works on LinkedIn, put on YouTube. It'll be like Loom-style videos going deep into a topic of whatever worked on LinkedIn. So it will just flow down like that. You'll have a lot less YouTube videos than you do LinkedIn posts, and you'll have a lot less LinkedIn posts than you do Twitter. It'll just work like that, like a reverse pyramid. And then once you've got a bank of content, once you've found out what your audience sort of resonates with you on, you kind of like maybe have 2 or 3 topics that really resonate. Repeat those topics. There's no shame in repeating stuff. There's no shame in rewriting stuff, rehashing it, zooming in on certain components on it, reworking stuff. And then that's really easy then to schedule. So use something like Hype Fury. That's what I use. I don't schedule that often, but when I'm on holiday or when I'm like busy with work and I don't really feel like tweeting live, I'll schedule all my tweets at least. So scheduling 2 a day, 3 a day, and yeah, it's really easy once you've got a year's worth of content. You can just go through back through the year and look at what worked, look at what didn't work, and just post all that stuff. So yeah, that's how I grew my social following, and that's how you can use it also to get clients, to make connections, and the ability to start projects and start services or start whatever you want very, very quickly and waiting days, not years, to get that feedback. So I hope you like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.